Welcome back to Arkham Horror. So today we are playing the third scenario in the first campaign, the Devourer Below. Before I get started though, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who has put up comments on both Board Game Geek as well as YouTube. I have made multiple mistakes in interpreting some of the rules, and some of it not very straightforward, so I kind of just chose my own track. Other things I got completely wrong. So thank you so much for watching through and letting me know where I've stepped wrong or stepped off the path. So thank you so much. Some of it has been very, very helpful, and I'll definitely use it in future playthroughs as well as with this one. So a couple things that I did wrong last game. So first of all, I totally forgot to pull up resources. You get 5 resources at the very start of the game. So there was that. And another thing that I had a little bit of issues with were who were the cultists I could take for the victory display. So we have fixed that. So apparently there's a little star next to the names. And so those actually are the ones that denote who the cultists are. So it doesn't mean if it just has the tag cultist is not how which was how I was playing. But that's okay. So what this did mean though is at the end of our last game, I wrote it down. So the only cultist that we ended up interrogating was Victoria Devereaux, which means that we had 5 cultists who got away. Which the downside with that is it means that this current playthrough is going to be a lot more difficult. So if there were 5 or 6 names of cultists who got away, you have to place 3 doom on the agenda to begin with. So I have done that already. The other thing that we have to do is it was past midnight, so we have to discard 2 random cards from our starting hand before we begin the game. Other than that, I'm still going to keep it at the same difficulty. So I know that there are multiple comments with, it'll be a lot more enjoyable if you play at an easier difficulty. And I think 100% definitely, I agree. I think that we've gone this far, and I do think that it is very interesting because they did create this game with that option of not doing well though, right? And there are things that happen when you don't do well. So we're going to follow through with, what happens if your main character, your main hero, isn't as great as the stories indicate that they should be. So we're going to find out today what happens. I have a feeling we're going to die, and really, really soon. But we'll see what happens, and we're going to have fun with it. So, and then in the future, we will do an easier difficulty. All right, so today we will start with reading about the Devourer Below. After a frantic nighttime search throughout Arkham, you have tracked down and questioned several members of the cult. One member of the cult. Your findings are disturbing. They claim to worship a being known as Umordoth, a monstrous entity from another realm. You are able to confirm much of Lita's story. The cult is agitated over the destruction of the ghoul lair. However, a surprising detail also turns up. The one who invaded the lair and set this night's events in motion was none other than Lita Chandler herself. You are not sure why this detail was omitted from Lita's story. Did she tell you only as much as was necessary to draw you into her conflict? But in another light, she seems to be fighting to protect the city of Arkham from a terrible menace. The final piece of the puzzle was found written in a journal possessed by one of the cultists. It describes a dark ritual to be performed deep within the woods south of Arkham this very night. According to the journal, the ritual's completion will open a gate and bring forth the cult's dark master into this world. If the cult is not stopped, Lita warns, there is a possibility that Umordoth's vengeance will consume all in its path. Frightened but determined to stop the ritual, you head into the woods. All right. Let's do this. Let's head into the woods. Okay, so I am already in the woods. We have to get rid of the card. 2 cards first. Okay, so I'm going to just shuffle them, and we're going to pick randomly. 1 and 2. All right, what are we left with? Overpower, Guard Dog, and Bee Cop. Not ideal. I was really hoping to hang on to both Machete and Hard Knocks. Why? All right, it's all good. Okay, so actually, before we start, let's read Act 1, which is our information. And I actually realized, someone pointed this out, when you put them together, the agenda and the act, they actually make like a little, like you're reading a book, which is kind of cool. All right, so Act 1, investigating the trail. The evidence you've gathered has led you to the woods south of Arkham, where you believe a ritual to summon a being called Umordoth is about to take place. Steeling your resolve, you set forth deeper into the woods, hoping to find the site of this ritual. All right, and then let's read agenda. The Arkham Woods. From interrogating members of the conspiracy within Arkham, you have learned that they are performing a rite of vengeance in response to the destruction of one of their master's lairs. You have entered the woods outside Arkham to try stop them. The woods seem unnaturally cold and filled with a deathly silence. All right. So we are unfortunately just one single doom token away from advancing that. And from our very first playthrough, we still have 1 horror on our character, unfortunately. Oh, and then the other thing that we did with this third the Devourer Below is we added an extra token into our chaos bag, which we'll have to see what happens when we pull that. It's always good. Okay, so we are starting on the main path. Hangman's Brook separates uptown from the woods south of Arkham. Passing over the small bridge, you follow the main path deeper into the forest. All right, so we're going to flip that over. It has a shroud value of 2. No clues. The main path is connected to the other woods location. So we have an option to resign. There's nothing we can do to stop them. You flee the woods, leaving Arkham to its grisly fate. Well, we're not going to do that. So I wonder what's the point of the shroud value if there are no clues. Can you maybe not leave until you've defeated the shroud value? What is the point of the shroud value? Right? I don't know what the point of the shroud value is if there's no right? Okay. So it's the start of the game, so we skip the Mythos phase. So the investigation phase. We take our turn performing our actions. Okay. Now I realize I'm actually going to put out a second one of these cards, and then that way I remember all my different things. So the one thing that I know I got incorrect last time as well was I did the activate an ability on a card. I think once or twice I treated it as if it was a free action, which is like the lightning bolt one. So I'm going to actually put out a second one, and then that way I don't make that mistake again. And we can have one that shows the round actions and one that shows my actions that are available to me. Okay, perfect. Okay, so our goal, we do need 3 clues to advance our act. So I'm gonna, action number 1, we're going to move to a different location. So let's go to the woods, to the path to our left. All right, so we have, growing up, you were always warned to stay out of the woods at night. Now you know why. All right, so we have, The Tangled Thicket. It has a shroud value of 2, 1 clue. This location is investigated using combat instead of the skill indicated by the investigation attempt. Ooh. An old horse trail in colonial days. This overgrown path hasn't been used in over a decade. Okay, so we want to put 1 clue on there. Perfect. Okay, so that was action number 1. Was moving. Okay, so our intellect and our combat is the same in terms of our ability. It's 3 regardless. So it doesn't make much of a change on that front. We do have Overpower, which does give us 2 to combat. So that's actually pretty wonderful. We can get that clue right away. Assuming we don't pull like the worst from the chaos bag. And if it's successful, we get to draw a card. Okay. So we have 2 actions left. Another option is we have our 5 resources. So we can put either Beat Cop or Guard Dog in play. So what's nice with Beat Cop is you always get +1 combat. And you can take a free action to discard the Beat Cop to deal an additional damage to an enemy at your location. Plus side with Guard Dog is it means that whenever an enemy attack deals damage to Guard Dog, you deal 1 damage to the attacking enemy. So for example, if we have an enemy at our location, I could do an action and get them to do an opportunity of attack the Guard Dog, and we'd at least get them down. My only worry is it only has one like mental ability. I don't know what the horror destroys your mind, right? Whereas combat destroys your health. So I don't know if I think it would die as soon as it basically got 1 hit. Right? Like I don't think it's dependent on. I think as soon as any of the values go down all the way, they're eliminated. Okay, so let's put the Beat Cop into play instead. So this is action number 2. We're going to spend 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to put the Beat Cop into play as our ally. And then action number 3, we're going to investigate the location using combat. So we have 3, we have 4. And we're going to commit Overpower, so that would be 6. And let's see what we get. I didn't do a proper shuffle earlier, which is why I'm... Oops! Okay. Let's try that again. It's thoroughly shuffled now. Oh boy. Oh man. Okay. What did I say? We're at 6, right? 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no. What does this do? -3, which is good. Because that brings us to, I said we're at 6, right? That brings us to 3. We have to beat a shroud value of 2, so we're fine. If you fail after the skill test, search blah, 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 we did not fail, so we're okay. Yay! Okay, so, and because of Overpower, if this test is successful, draw a card. So we're gonna discard that, and we're gonna draw a new card for that, which is Pickpocket. Perfect. Okay. So that is the end of our turn. So we go to the next round sequence, and enemy phase. There's no enemies on the board, so we're okay. Upkeep. Flip any mini cards. We don't have to do that. Ready all exhausted cards. That's done. We draw a card and gain a resource. Ooh, another Overpower. And a resource. Okay. Okay, and we do not need to discard down. Mythos Phase. All right, place 1 doom on the agenda. Oh no. And we advance the agenda. Advance the agenda if doom threshold is satisfied. Okay, so it is. So let's move those back over. And we flip this around. Oh man. Can't believe this. Can't believe this. Throughout the woods, a shrieking cry echoes. From somewhere deep in the forest, a score of hideous voices answer the call. Inhuman as the baying of hounds, and yet articulate, repeating a singular name. Umordoth, Umordoth, Umordoth. Shuffle the encounter discard pile. We don't have one. Into the encounter deck. Discard the top. Okay, all right. And discard cards from the top until a monster enemy is discarded. Spawn that enemy at the main path. Then place one doom on that enemy. Okay. So I'd forgotten to actually pick up our clue, so I'm going to do that right now. Okay, so we have to discard our encounter deck until we get to an enemy, and then we're going to put the enemy on the main path. Wonderful, wonderful. All right, we have the Relentless Dark Young. This does not sound wonderful. This does not sound good. Okay, so they have the Prey ability where I'm the only person, so it doesn't really matter. And Forced. At the end of the round, heal 2 damage. Oh no. And he has 5 health in total. The trees trembled, leaves fluttering around us. The earth shook as the thuds of giant hooved feet grew ever closer. Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Okay, so he's going on to the main path, which is exactly where I'm about to go. Why? Okay. Then, oh, and we have to place a doom on the enemy. Okay. Which so I think, and I did this wrong last time as well. So last time, once I defeated the enemy that had the doom tokens, I was supposed to actually remove the doom tokens. So I advanced the agenda way faster than I was supposed to last time. And I gave myself a handicap at the beginning by not giving myself the resources. So I could have put, what's his name, DeLuca, in play basically on turn 1, and I didn't. So I've definitely learned a lot through this playthrough so far. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see if we can maybe somehow come back from this and not like get destroyed. Okay. Death to the intruders. Wonderful. All right, and Agenda 2A. The ritual begins. Umordoth, Umordoth, Umordoth. The chanting builds in intensity, echoing into the cold air of the night. The sparse clouds in the sky coalesce above the Arkham woods, blotting out the faint light of stars. Each enemy gets +1 fight and +1 evade. Oh boy. So, okay, so their combat and their agility, I guess, is +1. Oh no. Okay. So that was advancing the agenda if it was satisfied. Each investigator draws a card from the top of the encounter deck. All right. So we have Treachery, Ancient Evils. Revelation, place 1 doom on the current agenda. This effect can cause the current agenda to advance. Oh no, can I remove it? Can I have it removed somehow? I don't think so. Dark forces stir against you. If you do not act quickly, a sinister plot will be fulfilled. All right, so we put 1. It's 1 out of 5 already there. Okay, and I think that basically that is it. It just goes into the discard pile. Okay, on to investigation phase. So we take our turn with our 3 actions. So I'm a little bit wary, I have to admit, I mean, we could try and evade this guy. Or we could try and fight him. Okay, so if we were to try and fight him, he has 4. We have 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6, he has 4. No, 5. He has 5. So we have 1 more than he does. Option 2 is we move to him and evade. So if we were to evade, we would have 4. If we put pickpocketing into play, unfortunately it wouldn't help us though, right? Whereas we could actually use it, exhaust it as a card to have it help us. Because at that point we would have 5, whereas he would have 3. So we have a slightly better chance of evading than we do... Right? And he heals. Does he follow? I think it's only the hunters that follow, right? Prey? I don't think prey. I think prey just has to do with when they spawn, but because we had specific instructions that they had to spawn at the main path, right? So I'm going to say that we're going to try and evade. We will probably try and fight him eventually, but just not right away. I'm going to quickly look up prey and see if they, when it comes to the enemy phase, what that means. Because that may, right, because it's an enemy with a hunter keyword, move. Whereas no one else moves. I'm going to read prey for a second, and then I will continue with the game. Okay, so I don't think that enemies with prey move. I think it's just the hunter enemies actually follow you around. So we're going to try and evade. So action number 1, I'm going to move back onto the main path as we have found our only clue in the tangled thicket. So next, we get engaged with this dude right away. So we don't want to fight him. So we're going to try and actually evade him and then basically run to the other side of the woods. Okay, so he has the +1, so he's actually at 3. We are at 4. We're going to commit pickpocketing, so that brings us to 5. And I don't think there's any way for us to do anything else. Oh, you know what? I totally should have just... I should have picked a card first. That probably, and then that way we might have had something more helpful. Okay, that's okay. We've committed. So what did I say? We're at 4. We're at 5. We're at 5. We have to beat 3. Or well, we have to. Okay. Yeah. Oh no, I don't think this is good. What does this even do? Okay, hold on. I think there's another. It's this one that I picked up. The investigator automatically fails the test as if he or she had a skill value of 0. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. So we're still engaged with this dude. So, I mean, I guess we could try fight him, right? I mean, so this is very, very unfortunate. I mean, we could fight him. My only worry is he's just going to heal, right? There's absolutely no point. There's absolutely no point. At the end of the round, heal 2 damage. So even if we damage him by 1 point, he's just going to right? Like, our only option is to straight up kill him, right? I would have to discard beat comp, deal 1 damage to an enemy at your location. So that's, right? Like, I would have to, I could, but at this point, I only have 1 turn left anyways, so I can't, although that is a free action. That is a free action, right? So I could fight him as my 3rd action, and if I damage him, oh no, wait, he has 5, that's his damage that he does to me. He has 5 health, So he's just gonna heal again, so there's absolutely no point. There's absolutely no point in me, like, I might as well just try and disengage again, right? And hope that I don't have anything to help me out, but hope that he can, at least then he won't be attacking me when it comes to his turn. Okay, we're gonna disengage again. So I have 4. Let's really hope, right? Like, I don't think I can do anything else. If I do anything else, he's gonna attack me. Okay, come on, something good, something good. Ooh, we got the bad one and now we got the good one. So this one is, we reference the ability. Okay, so effect, it's a +2, so we successfully evade. If you succeed, gain 2 resources. Yay! Okay, so we get 2 resources. Perfect. Wonderful. And he becomes exhausted, so I'm gonna put him over there, and then that way we remember. Okay, so our turn is now done. So we move on to enemy phase. He is exhausted, so he cannot do anything. Upkeep phase, reset actions. Okay, so at this point he would, I think, become, right, go back to normal again. We draw a card. Please be something good. A switchblade. Okay. And we also get a resource. And then we go down, which we haven't done. Okay, so Mythos Phase. Place 1 doom on the agenda. Place 1 doom on the agenda. Then it does not advance. Draw the top card of the encounter deck. Okay, so we have Treachery. Umordoth's Wrath. Oh no, it's a curse. Revelation. Test 5. What is that? Willpower. Willpower? Willpower. For each point you fail by, you must either choose and discard a card from your hand or take 1 damage and 1 horror. Pretty sure this is the one that killed us in the gathering. Or something similar. It was something similar to this. This is so bad. Okay. So we don't even have anything to help us. We have nothing to help us. So we have 2. So we've already failed by 3. We've already failed by 3. And oh, this is so bad. Right? I may just die right here. I legit may just die right here. I'm already losing by 3. I mean, I guess I would have to do the cards because I can't, let's just say that's the best and I don't get anything added to that and I lose by 3. I guess we could put some damage onto the beat comp instead of losing our cards. Like that is an option. Right? Because then, okay, let's see how much we lose by first, and then we'll figure it out. Oh, man. This is so bad. Okay, so we have 2. Oh. -3. So we have, that would be 5 that we are short by. So, for each point you fail, okay, so we could do If we were to take the damage, we would put 2 and 2 on our beat cop, which means we would take 3 and 3. So we would be 2 horror short of losing. And 5 health short of losing. Option 2, we get rid of the 3 cards in our hand, right? Because it's at least that. Choose and discard a card from your hand for each point you fail by. It's 5. This, I think it's the best option. It sucks, but I think it's the best option. Okay, so that is dealt with. So next is our turn. Okay, so, oh, and Investigator draws 1. Oh no, wait, that's the encounter deck. Okay, so it is now our turn, and we need to evade this dude so we can run away and we can actually get stuff. And we have nothing to help us out. Okay, so we do have our free action with Schizo Tool, is we can, as a free action, we can spend 2 resources. Oh, I totally should have done this last turn. I totally should have done that last turn, and then I could have moved. And I wouldn't be engaged with this dude already. Oh, that would have been so smart. Okay, so we will have to... That would have been such a good idea. Why didn't I do that? And I even remember thinking, like, before I even started, I was like, if I ever get this ability that gives me the two resources, I should just do the free action immediately. But I was kind of thinking, oh, no, I'll save them. I'll save them for my cards, right? Nope, should have used it. Okay, so we have to disengage. So we're gonna be very hopeful here. So we're at 4, and we need, maybe we'll be lucky and grab the good one again. Hey, 0. Okay, so we evade successfully. So he is, He is exhausted. So that was action number 1. Action number 2, we're gonna move and get the heck out of there. We're gonna go to the woods on the other side. All right, so we flip it over, and it is, oh no, it's unhallowed ground. Has a shroud value of 4. Holy crap. After you enter this location, test 4 willpower. If you fail, take 1 damage, 1 horror. At least it's only 1 on 1. Okay, so really, eh? Really. Okay, so we have to do this. So after you enter this location, test 4 willpower. If you fail, okay, so we have a whole of 2 willpower, and we have to succeed by 4. I don't think there's not a single plus in the deck, so, or in our chaos bag, so we're losing no matter what. It's a -1, so lo and behold, we fail. So we take 1 and 1. Let's put those over there. Okay. All right, and we put 1 clue token over here. So that was, we evaded, number 1. We moved, number 2. We need 3 clues. Okay, so option. I move out of here as number 3, and then I do my 4th, my free thing, and move somewhere else as my extra one. Right? Because there's no way we can beat a shroud value of 4. Our intellect is 3. We don't have anything to help us out right now. Other option is I could pull 2 cards. But a part of me kind of just wants to go somewhere else. Maybe it's going to be cheaper somewhere else, and it's going to be more worth our time. Okay, so action number 3, move back to the main path. Right? I don't think I can go anywhere else from here. No. So main path. Yeah. He's still engaged, or sorry, exhausted. We're going to spend 2 of our resources, do our free action. You may take an additional action this turn, and it's limited once per turn. Okay, so we put those away. We're going to head up to the north, one of the northern ones. Okay, and what do we got? It's a quiet glade. Ooh. This is no clues though. I was like, it has a shroud value of 1. Why? Okay, I'm gonna have to look this up after. I don't understand why there's a shroud value if there are 0 clues. That doesn't really make sense to me. This would be a nice picnic spot if it weren't for all the monsters. So, as an action, you can heal 1 damage or heal 1 horror once per turn. Okay, that's nice. Okay. Ooh, and we can go directly here if we need to, by the looks of it. Unfortunately, to get to this one, we still have to go back to the main path. Okay. No clues though. That's a bummer. I was hoping that we'd be able to get some easy clues there. Okay, so that was our 4th turn, which we got because of a free action from Skits. So that is our turn. The enemy is exhausted, cannot do anything. Upkeep phase, reset actions, ready exhausted cards. We draw a card and we gain a resource. We have a 41 Derringer. Perfect. We're gonna get that into play next turn, I think, right? Because between that and our beat cop, we might be in a much better position to help. Right? Like if we have that in play, we would spend an ammo, get +2 for the attack, and if we succeed by 2 or more, then it gets an additional +1. So although we're still in the same position where we either need to kill him or we need to just evade him. There's no point in attacking him unless we can straight up do a minimum of 3 damage, because he's going to heal by 2. So it seems like a waste actually to attack him. I think we're just going to evade him. Okay, so that is the upkeep phase. Back to the Mythos phase. Place 1 doom on the agenda. This is how we're going to lose. We're going to lose by the agenda just advancing. Keeping in mind we also have 1 on this. I guess that would be 1 plus side for killing him, as it gets rid of a doom. So we're at 4 out of 5 so far. Okay, draw the top card of the encounter deck. Treachery. Mysterious chanting. Oh no. Revelation. Place 2 doom on the nearest cultist enemy. Is he a cultist enemy? It doesn't say he's a cultist enemy. Right? It would have, he's a monster and a dark young. He is not a cultist. If there are no cultist enemies in play, search the encounter deck and discard pile for a cultist enemy and draw it. Shuffle the encounter deck. Okay. But we don't put the doom onto it. We just search it and put the cultist enemy in play. Okay. There we go. The very next one. Spawn. Any empty location. Okay, I'm thinking, oh boy. So, plus side with doing it, oh, it's forced. You get 1 doom token on it, but I don't think it will advance the agenda. But then next round we will be advancing the agenda. So is there any benefit for me to attacking him? Like, I don't actually get anything, right? We need a clue. And my guess is that this one's only going to have 3, or sorry, only going to have 1 clue as well. Which means we're going to have to go back here. As much as that's a really, really high shroud value, I think we're going to have to go back there, unfortunately. So while it's nice to be able to go between the Quiet Glade and the Tangle Thicket, so part of me doesn't want to put this here, but I think that's going to be... We at least have the clue token from there already. Okay. It is done. It is done. We are moving on. Oh, and we put the Doom token. Oh no, we're officially at the Doom threshold. Now, but it didn't say to advance it, right? So I don't think we actually advance it until next round. It was only a small sacrifice. All right, on to the investigation phase. Okay, so it's our turn again. We can move 1, disengage 2, move 3. Then we can spend 2 resources and do a 4th. Part of me is tempted to do that now and to try and pull a card. The other thing I could do is put this into play. Right? I'm a little bit wary of that, though. A little bit wary of that. Okay. We're gonna move. Action number 1. Moving. Oh, we could actually spend an action to heal. I mean, I don't know if it's necessary. I feel like we're not taking a little bit of damage. Staying at full health is not going to do anything, because the agenda is going to advance anyway. So we're not going to heal. We're gonna move. Action number 1. Action number 2. We need to disengage. So we're going on our high disengage and hoping that we get something from the deck that's from the chaos bag that is not horrible. So we're at 4. We need to beat 3. And we got the skull dudes, which -3. Uh-oh. Shoot. We're at 4, right? We're at 4. That brings us down to 1. That's not enough. Oh no! If you fail after the skill test, search the encounter deck and discard pile for a monster enemy and draw it. Shuffle the encounter deck. Oh no. Okay, so let's do the discard pile first. I don't think there was anything. Alright. We got a goat spawn. I'm guessing we have to do it right at the same place. Oh, this did not go the way it was supposed to go. And it's a hunter. Oh no. Oh, and it has a retaliate. I don't know what that is. When ghost spawn is defeated, each investigator at this location takes 1 horror. This is so bad. This is so bad. We need to kill him ASAP. Oh crap. This is actually so bad. Right? He's gonna follow us everywhere. Okay, so I'm now engaged with both of these dudes. This was not how it was supposed to go. I was supposed to pass the evade. Okay, so I moved. I tried to evade. I still have 1 more. Downside, if I put my Derringer in play, I will not have enough to do a fourth action. So, is it worth it though? Right? Okay, so let's just say I had this in play. I would get +2. I would get +3, so I would get 6. His is 3, so assuming that, unfortunately, I would only do one damage. Unless I succeeded by 2 or more, in which case I would do 2 damage, and then I could discard the weak cop. I'm going to look up what retaliate is. Maybe I should just evade the goat spawn. If I evade the goat spawn, right, because then I'll exhaust him, and he won't follow, or he wouldn't follow me, but I wouldn't be able to move either, though. This is the problem. Right, I moved, I evaded. I have to... If I... This is not going to work, is it? If I evade the goat spawn successfully, then I move, and I take the opportunity of attack. The Relentless Dark Young is going to do 2 damage to me. I take the 2 damage. This is my thought. I could put on the beat comp, but I feel like the agenda's advancing anyways. I think I take the hit. But let's try and evade from the goat spawn first. Okay. I have no idea if this is it's, I don't know, maybe risky, maybe it's like just taking damage is a risky play, but yeah. I think we have to get the clue tokens, right? Okay, so yeah, so this is going to be a little bit of risky play. I'm probably going to take damage here, and unfortunately, but I think we need the clue tokens, and the agenda's being advanced next round anyways. So this is we're going down, or we're going to die trying, basically. Like actual dying. Okay, so we're evading the goat spawn. We have 4. Need to beat 2. At least it's better than 3. Alright, what do we got? We got -2, which is perfect. So that brings us to 2, which equals his 2. So he gets... Perfect. Alright, so now that was action 1, we moved. Action 2, we evaded and failed. Action 3, we evade. We're going to spend 2 resources for our free action. And we're going to move, which we get an opportunity of attack with that. So he does, I think he just does the straight damage, right? We just get the hits. So we get 2 health and 1 horror. And I'm just going to swap this with a 3. I'm going to take the hits as opposed to putting it on my beat cop, which I could do that. Right? Like, I mean, I could do that. It's not like I'm using him exactly, is it? But I don't know. We're gonna do it this way. Okay. So we've moved, which means we have where have we wound up? We've wound up in the twisting paths. Forced. When you move out of this location, test 3 intellect. If you fail, cancel the effect of the move. And we can move between we can move down here, the tangled thicket or the main path. I was really hoping it was going to take us to the unhallowed ground, unfortunately. Okay, that's okay. We at least have a clue at this location. So... and at least it's a shroud value of 3. Slightly better than a shroud value of 4. Okay, that is our turn. So next we have the enemy phase. The hunter's moved, but he is exhausted, so he cannot do that. And engage enemy's attack, he is no longer engaged. Actually, oh crap, engaged enemies follow you, don't they? I had forgotten that. Engaged enemies follow you. So because he is actually with me, Frick. He moved! He moved with me! Why did he do that? Okay, so... Right. Right. So he attacks. So we get another 2 health. I think I'm gonna let the beat cop take it this time. As much as I don't want to, as much as I would like him to be there, especially if we go down and we try and kill this goat spawn, right? Like if we can disengage from this dude now and get the clue for number 2, move away for number 3, that leaves him there, right? Which is ideal. And then with our free one, move back. But then, oh no, but then we'd be engaged with that guy, so never mind. Okay, sorry, Mr. Beat Cop. I'm so sorry. Okay, so... He attacks. He attacks and does 2 damage, so we're gonna... Our ally is going to help us out and take the hit. Thank you, Beat Cop. Thank you for your service. And we are... That was the enemies who are engaged with us. And then next we are reset. Okay, so this dude is no longer... I'm going to keep this in our area just so I don't forget about it. And we draw a card. First aid. Heal a damage or horror. Okay. And we get 2... And that's a willpower one. Unfortunately, it would have been nicer. Really need some more cards. Okay, so that was the upkeep phase. We are on to the Mythos phase. Place a doom on the agenda. It's advancing. So, advance the agenda if the doom threshold is satisfied. So I think this means that we actually remove the doom tokens from all of the monsters that have them. They don't stay there. They get reset. I did that incorrectly last time. And we will move on. Agenda. Oh, and actually I didn't realize was each enemy gets +1 fight and +1 evade. I think we still would have evaded this guy because we were at 4. Oh crap! Actually, we wouldn't have, would we? Damn it! Right, because we were at 4, and I think we got a -2, which brought us to 2. But he actually had 3. Screw it. We're going to forget about that and pretend that we did it right. I think we have enough going against us that we're going to fail this anyways. So, you know, we got lucky. We just got a little bit more evade than we were supposed to. Okay. A dark presence approaches and you are assaulted by invisible pressures that bring you to your knees. A terrible force threatens to invade your mind and soul. Your throat clenches and your eyes water as the sensation burns through you. In player order, each investigator must test 6 willpower. Each investigator who fails must search the collection for a random basic madness weakness and add it to his or her hand. Okay. Sure. I'm gonna fail that. I have a whole of 2, and we have to beat 6. So, I mean, even if I put this one on there, I've still failed it. So there's absolutely no point even trying. Oops. Zero. All right, so we fail. Surprise, surprise. And we have to add a weakness to our hand. Let's see which one that's in. A random basic madness weakness. Madness weakness. Okay. I'm just going to go through the deck and I will Be back in a second. All right, we got Psychosis. So Revelation. Add Psychosis to your threat area. Oh, wonderful. Force. After you take one or more horror, take 1 direct damage. And it cost me 2 actions to discard Psychosis. Oh. Oh my gosh. Don't play Nightmare difficulty. Not with solo, not with true solo. So that would actually was another suggestion that was made. Is if you're gonna play solo, you can always play with 2 investigators instead of just 1. And then the other suggestion was don't play with like the basic deck construction. So probably what I would do in the future is I would look online for a like recommended deck for whichever player I chose, and probably choose 2 of them and would go a difficulty easier. Okay, so that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So we've moved on from that. Next is 3A. Vengeance awaits. The world begins to shift and change as the ritual nears its conclusion. The air grows chilly, and the entire forest is covered in a layer of rime. The trees bend unnaturally, and their shadows lengthen into weird shapes. So forced. When this agenda advances, if the investigators are at Act 1, which we currently are, put the set-aside ritual site into play and spawn the set-aside Umordoth there. If the investigators are at Act 2 or 3, discard all enemies at the ritual site and spawn the set-aside Umordoth there. Okay. All right, so I kind of think we need to get rid of this hunter dude. It kind of almost seems like there's maybe no point in trying to get to Act 2. Right? Because with Act 2, it seems like we're going to have some enemies. Is that going to help us? Is getting to Act 2 going to be helpful? I'm not sure. Maybe? Okay. So that was advancing the Doom Threshold. Advancing the agenda. And each investigator draws 1 card from the top of the encounter deck. All right, so we have Treachery, Ancient Evils, Revelation. Place 1 Doom on the current agenda. Okay. This effect can cause the current agenda to advance. Okay, we're fine. We're at the beginning. All right, so it is now our turn again. So we could spend 2 actions to discard Psychosis. Basically, if we take horror, we take a damage as well. So, for example, this relentless young dude, if he attacked us, we would take 3 damage and 1 horror instead of 2 and 1. On the plus side, they no longer have the +1, right? For the ritual begins. They no longer have the +1 fight and +1 evade. So I think that we were actually in, right? Like, I don't think that's a permanent. I think that was just temporary. So, okay, so we are currently engaged with this relentless dark young one. So we could, 1, disengage. right? Psychosis only affects us if we take damage. As long as we don't take damage, we're fine. We're fine. So we evade him. Step 1, we evade. Step 2, we investigate and get that clue value. Step 3, we move. Step 4, we disengage again. As long as our disengages work this time, then it'll all be okay. Okay, so let's try this. Let's see if this actually works. Okay, so step 1, disengage from the relentless young one. So we have to beat a 2, and we have 4. Oh, sorry, like strings attached to me. We've got the cultist. That's a -4. Wonderful. That's a -4. So that gives brings us down to 0. So we fail, and we place a 2 doom on the nearest enemy. Okay. Do we just try and fight him then? Do we try and fight him? Is that the way to go? I really, really don't want to fight him. He's just gonna heal, right? It seems pointless to try and fight him unless I can kill him, and I'm not good at killing, so okay, so that was number 1. We're gonna try again to disengage. Evade, let's work, let's do it properly this time. And we have a -1, yay! Okay, so that brings us to 3, which is, okay, so he is exhausted. So at this point, as long as we get our clue value and we leave before he gets ready, then we'll be okay. Okay, so I was gonna say, what was I doing next? Okay, so that was 2 actions. Third action, we're going to try and get that clue. So we have 3 intellect. We have nothing to help us, and we have to meet 3. So basically we need to get a 0. We have to get a 0. Damn it. Okay, option 2, I draw a card. Right? If I draw a card, it might be able to help us. Because the chances of me to draw a 0 are not good. Right? There's 3 zeros. There's 3 zeros plus the one that gets our ability, right? So that's 4, and I think there's like 15 tokens, right? In total. $17. That's 4 out of 17. That is not good odds at all. I'm gonna actually draw cards. Okay, action number 3, we're drawing a card. Intellect, perfect. Okay, ooh, okay, and it's flashlight. So we could, damn it. To do our 4th one, we would have to actually spend 2 resources, and then we wouldn't have enough to put it in play. But our shroud value would go down to -2. So here's what I'm thinking. We don't spend anything. Cost 2. We spend 2, pull another card. Then next round, because we'll be gaining a resource, we can put the flashlight into play. Right? And then we can use it to actually help us that's totally what we're gonna do. Okay, so we're gonna spend 2, and we're gonna grab another card. Oh no, damn it. Okay, I pulled Haunted Revelation, add haunted to your threat area. You get -1 to each of your skills. And it takes 2 actions to discard it. Why? Okay. That was very, very unfortunate. Okay. End of my turn. Enemies who are... Okay, so this dude is going to... Was he had... No, because... Okay. So he can now actually chase us. So he comes here and we're now engaged with him. So I'm going to put that down there. He becomes... Does he attack right away? Oh no, does he attack right away? Enemies with the hunter keyword move toward the nearest investigator. So he moves towards me and he can attack me now. Oh crap, he can attack me. That's unfortunate. Right, my original plan was to have evaded the first dude properly. Like with 1 turn. And then we could have... I had plans, apparently, but... They're not working anymore. Okay, so this goat spawn has moved to us, and he is now attacking us, unfortunately. So we get 1 damage, and do we get with our psychosis? It's only if we get horror that affects us. Okay, so we're at half health at this point. Okay, and he's engaged with us. Next is the upkeep phase, so he becomes engaged as well. And we get to draw a card, and we get to get a resource. And we have Vicious Blow. If this skill test is successful during an attack, that attack deals +1 damage. Oh, I see. So if you use it. Cool. Okay, so... Unfortunately, we have the haunted card, which is really, really, really frustrating. Okay, so next is place 1 doom on the agenda. So we are at 4 currently. 4 out of 5. It does not advance, and we draw the top card. So we have Grasping Hands. It's a hazard. Revelation. Test 3. Agility, wonderful. For each point you fail, take a damage. Oh no. Okay, so let's deal with this now. So we test 3 agility. We have nothing to help us. Man, I really, really wish we had drawn Hard Knocks. We had drawn Hard Knocks at the beginning, and unfortunately had to discard it. Really, really would have liked that to be in play. Okay, so... Oh, and I get a -1 because I'm haunted. So I'm actually at 3. Oh, shoot, I'm at 3. I'm at 3 and I have to test 3. Could kind of maybe die here. Maybe. Alright, what do we got? -2. So that's, so with haunted, that's basically -3. We're at 4, so that brings us down to 1. So we take 2 damage. So we're at 4. So we're now at 6. 6 out of 8. We have 2 health left. I might have to go to these, this quiet glade and heal. Okay, and then this gets discarded. Okay, so... It is now my turn. Oh boy. Okay, so we have... can't do everything that I wanted. I wanted to disengage, and I wanted to put this into play, and then I wanted to do the clue value. But I now have 2 monsters attacking me. So I can't do that. I have to disengage them both. Right? Can I kill one of them? Can I kill the goat spawn? Is this possible? Is it possible to kill the goat spawn? Right? I have 3 attack. I have 4 here if I do the vicious blow. Problem is, with the goat spawn, when he dies, I take a horror, which means with my psychosis, I would take an additional horror. Or sorry, an additional damage. Which would bring me to 7, which is not good at all. Not good at all. Okay. First things first. We're gonna evade. I don't know if this is the right tactic by evading all the time. I don't know if there is a better line or type of action that I should be taking. Like, I could be healing with first aid. I could be attacking and killing things, right? But I don't know if that's how, like, I want to kill the goat spawn because it seems like a horrible idea to have a hunter keep chasing me around, because that's one less thing that I then have to worry about, right? Okay, we're gonna disengage this dude first, and hopefully we pass it and we don't fail. All right, we got a -3, so that brings us to 1, and we have to beat 2, so we fail that. That was action number 1. Action number 2. We try and disengage again. And we get 4. Crap. 4 -3, which brings us to 1 again. If you fail after the skill test, search the encounter deck and discard pile for a monster enemy and draw it, then shuffle the right? Like, I still don't think we have any here. Nope. This is not helpful at all. This is not working. That is not monster. Here we go. We got a ghoul minion. It was a colossal and nameless blasphemy with glaring red eyes, and it held in bony claws a thing that had been a man, gnawing at the head as a child nibbles at the stick of candy. Wonderful. So it has no I think it spawns at my location, right? It has no spawn information, which my understanding is if it doesn't have any spawn information, it spawns in your location and it is engaged. So now we have 3 things again. Okay, we're officially dead. There's no way I can. That was my second action. Like, there's no way I can. Like, I have 3. I am engaged with 3 monsters. What do I do? Legit, what do I do? Right? If I leave, they get opportunities of attacks. I die. If I try and get a clue value, I die. Even if I manage to successfully disengage from one of them, they will both attack me on the enemy. The other 2 will attack me in the enemy phase, and I will die. Right? I can only take 2 health. So my plan when I was like, okay, I'm just going to take damage is I wasn't expecting to have 3 enemies all attacking me at once. That hadn't been part of the plan when I had said, "Oh, I'll just take the damage." Right? I can't even put anything into play. So I can, okay, so if I fight, is that going to help me at all? If I fight, right? I mean, I can maybe kill the ghoul minion. But then that's my 3rd, and then I could spend 2 for an additional action, right? I think I need to have like a counter. I think I did 2 failed disengages, and this is my 3rd. This is my 3rd action. So I could try and defeat the ghoul minion, and then spend the 2 tokens to get an additional to heal. Oh, sorry, not to heal, to disengage from one of them, and then I'll only be taking harm from one of them. Okay, we're gonna do that. So we're gonna attack the ghoul minion because I think it's the only one that we can actually potentially kill. So we're going to use the Derringer, which is gonna give it. Unfortunately, we can't use it as the actual Derringer. We're just gonna use. We have to win this one. So we're going to do that. We're also going to do the Vicious Blow. So the cool thing with the Vicious Blow, if I'm understanding it correctly, I use it, I commit it, and then if the skill test is successful during an attack, that attack deals 1 additional damage. So, which is going to allow us to kill the dude. So this is 2 in addition to my 3. So that brings me to 5. I have nothing else that I can do to add. So we're at 5. We have to beat 2. We're at 5. We have to beat 2. Hey, okay. So we got 0. So we deal damage because of the Vicious Blow. We do an additional damage. So he dies. So he just goes to the discard pile. These both get discarded. Then we're going to spend 2 resources for our additional action. Oh boy. And we have to disengage, right? It's the only way. So we're going to try and disengage from the young one because obviously if he attacks us and we take 2 health, we're dead. So we have to successfully disengage from him or else we will die. We won't even get to fight, what's his name? Umordoth? We won't even get to fight him. We won't even know what he looks like. We'll be dead before the ritual even starts. We're dead. Okay, so I drew the skull again, which is basically, how many times have I drawn that? There are 2 skulls out of 17 tokens. There are 2 skulls, and I've pulled it at least 3 times, if not 4 times. 3 times, I think. So that's -3, which brings us to 1, and we have to be 2. So, oh, and we get the whole, oh, we're even more dead now, because on top of that, we search the encounter deck and discard pile for a monster enemy. So we're just going to pull the ghoul enemy back on again. Oh, actually, you know what? I was probably supposed to shuffle. Was I supposed to shuffle the discard pile into the encounter deck? Just search the encounter deck and discard pile. I don't know which one you do first. Maybe you do the encounter deck first. Okay, let's try that, because maybe that will change things. No, I'm still dead. I don't think that actually changes anything. But we'll do it this way anyways. Wizard of the Order. Spawn at an empty location. Alright, we'll put you in the thicket. The tangled thicket as well. Get you away from me. Even though I'm dead already. At least it's dead by one less enemy. Okay. So, that is my turn. Oh, and you know what? Oh, I had forgotten that I was haunted. Could I have even killed the ghoul? What did I think I got 5. I think that was fine. I think I pulled a 0, right? And I had 5, so I beat it by 3. So even with the -1, I think that was okay. Okay, so next is the enemy phase. Enemies with the hunter move towards it. He's ready with me. He doesn't have to move anywhere. Each engaged enemy attacks if able. They both attack, and I suffer 3 damage, bringing me to 9. Is there even another 3 in here? I have 9 damage. And I only have 8 health. So, I'm pretty sure I'm getting knocked unconscious, and I'm gonna miss the whole ritual. And this is what happens when regular Joe Schmo tries to be a hero. This is the story that doesn't get told, that doesn't make it to publishing houses. What actually happens when someone tries to be the hero. Okay, so we get eliminated, right? I'm gonna look up what it says for eliminated. I'm pretty sure it's that we have to go to the resolution of being eliminated. Elimination. If there are no remaining players, the scenario ends. Refer to no resolution was reached. All right, let's find out. Let's find out what happens when every single time you try in your journey and no resolution was reached. Okay. The Devourer Below. If no resolution was reached, each investigator resigned or was defeated. Too frightened to face her fate, Lita flees into the night. She realizes that she has failed, and Umurdoth's vengeance will pursue her wherever she goes. The creature's tendrils spread throughout the city of Arkham, searching for her. It lurks in the darkness of every corner, tugging at the seams of reality, but Lita is nowhere to be found. So the creature dwells in the shadows, to this day searching, killing. In your campaign log, record that Arkham succumbed to Umurdoth's terrible vengeance. Each surviving investigator is killed. The investigators lose. Alright, so that's what happens. You lose. And if we go to... Okay, so the end, or is it? At the end of a campaign, the experience, trauma, and weakness granted by the final scenario resolution will allow players to feel the full consequences of their actions. Like, you failed. The investigators' many decisions and actions, as recorded in their campaign log, form the outline of their story. Players are encouraged to share the results of their story and their investigators' final decks online at fantasyflightgames.com, forums, or on social media. Yeah, it's this. I'll have to look at other people's, and then I will improve for future playthroughs. Now that you have completed the introductory campaign of Arkham Horror, the card game, try playing the campaign again with new investigators or at a higher difficulty level. So I'm all for playing it again, but we will definitely do it at a lower difficulty level. And like I said, I'll probably also look online for some recommendations for decks that, or like custom decks for the different characters that aren't based on the original. And then maybe also playing with 2 characters instead of 1. And then they have the future expansions. Sweet. Well, there we go. That was the Night of the Zealot on hard nightmare difficulty. It was a fun experience, and thank you all for watching along and participating in the ridiculousness of what just happened. I hope you enjoyed it, and I've played other solo games as well, so hopefully you'll check them out. If you have enjoyed the playthrough, then yes, please see some of the other ones that I've done, and don't forget to subscribe. And I also play live on Twitch, typically not board games, but I play action RPGs, ARPGs, and as well as a couple roguelike games like Slay the Spire. So you may see some of the videos and highlights that I might be uploading over time onto YouTube for that. So yeah, come by, say hello on Twitch, or say hello on YouTube as well. And I will see you in another game somewhere else. Let me know how your experience with Arkham Horror was. And yeah, we will see you around. Thank you. Bye.